Good morning. It is March 15th, 2018, Thursday. We are checking in on the pre-market, looking at ES. It looks like it's given us pretty much what we were expecting on the overnight. A to B, more than likely completion of the C. We do have some issue with this topside resistance, so there is a strong potential that it doesn't quite extend that high. This could have been all of the B, A, B, and C, A, B, and we're going to do C of the A degree, B, and then C. We do have that potential to move down into target, and from this vantage point, A to B to C, I have a very good overlap right here at this 2700 area. Now, if instead this completed it up here, you'll notice that the overlap is also still quite good, a little bit under 2700. So I'm going to leave that for the time being at about there for the potential to take hold underneath this resistance here and potentially take hold for a larger move to the downside. Thus far, though, I'd prefer to see A to B, and then maybe we could climb towards the 87 area if we can use this resistance as support. That would tell us that this degree is starting to abate, that it could be complete here. We've talked about this over and over again this week. You know, it's the degree of this retracement and really the front week money motivation for what expires tomorrow morning at the first ring of the bell, which is a very, very call-heavy option book for the SPX. So if you want to talk about where the money to be made is here, it's getting up into this area, this 70 area again, wasting a bunch of time today and then rapidly falling. That would shake out a lot of money out of the option premium book. Now, that's not to say that we couldn't be in a contracting triangle going nowhere, right? That they, you know, we have this rising support, this falling resistance. Even if it broke out of it, it probably would kind of settle somewhere in the median here, right? This 2750 area keeps a lot of money into expiry for everyone that was over 2800 plus things that were in the money with the 2770 area. So even if we make the dive, we probably come back up to about the 2732 area where there's the resistance here. So will they gut the SPX and then bounce slightly, and then we wouldn't know if. I'd be pretty happy with that, actually, to see A, B, and C of the first degree B, and then A, B, and C of the second degree, that may be the end of the corrective, so we can start next week moving up again towards our larger topping target. So the 61.8% retrace is here. We are still within this larger degree. We held the 83.6 retracement here. So really breaking below this low at 2746, let's call it 43. Okay, really starts to argue for 20 bounce and then potentially a flush all the way down to about 2700. So really the first contention is the falling resistance line right above us here. Can it get it and then use this as support to start moving up is really what I think the first scalp potential for the day could be. Longing it here for that potential with a stop and reversal underneath the support is possible. It's just a little bit wide with about 7 to 8 points. So we want to try and get it closer to an extension for an attempted short or a retracement for an attempted long. So we got to let this develop just a little bit more. I'm going to switch over to CL. Did exactly what we were hoping for. We had two major checkpoints, 1 and then 2. It made it directly to that major checkpoint. Now that's the larger resistance of the downside move. Okay. And it's starting to look very good for A to B to C to a high degree retracement potential with what should come as follow through. Now we do have that potential for A, B, and C to come significantly higher than here. We've talked about that before. That 62 area is pretty critical. So the issue becomes A, B, and C potentially to complete this. And then falling. But you'll also notice that we're in a large compression wedge. So even if it does fall, I would expect some serious support here to try and hold it in the wedge. It looks like it wants to just hold around the 61, 60, 75 price to commenced the week, and you can see how well it's skewered over and under this median here. So we're up against resistance right now. It could say that it wants to get a flashier, higher degree, but went right to target. So this is initially the short. Looking at the potential for follow through now. I myself am in short with the 62 call. So that's not really a huge concern because I'm ahead on that call, so I can use that as kind of a cover fire for the short. So looking at it here, we have a pretty good support and resistance. It's rattled around like crazy. Of course, we're at the resistance again. Will we test the support is really the primary question. If it does test support again, I don't think it'll hold. So going this degree, A to B, okay, to C, you'll notice that this larger degree 1441, all of it overlaps as we've been talking about at that 5930 area. So really breaking the 6052 starts to very quickly argue for that 5930 area, where I've got multiple degrees of 100 overlap. That would be a very clean A equals C. So getting back under the median, attacking support, and then breaking down, this thing could very quickly move to 59.30. That's about $2 below where we are right now. As you can see, it can happen very quickly if it does decide to do so. The other possibility is A, B, C, B, A, B, and then a higher degree C. The only time the alerts come out is coming over 62.30. That's a full buck above us. And as I said, we've got pretty strong resistance here, so we should probably expect a fight come to the open. Finally, I'm going to switch over to GC. And taking a look at GC, boy, isn't she a beaut? We were talking about coming up to resistance and then pushing down to test the support of this area. And lo and behold, that's where we are right now. So when it comes down to A to B to C, this first degree of A is complete, as far as I'm concerned. We should see a B wave bounce, probably to the resistance area. Now today that's at about 1324. And then completion or follow through from there. But this looks very good for A, B, and C of A, B, and C of B, A, B, and C of C. So this should be expecting a bounce. Now, if it breaks down significantly from here, starts moving very quickly towards this 1312 area, then it starts to argue that we are in a deeper degree C wave than 3-wave sets. You'll notice that the A wave had some impulsive looking sets. After it got its first initial move of A, B, and C, the next move looked very much like a third wave. Well, that could very easily happen here. 3, 4, and then 5, right? To get down there. So commensurate size, everything looks right there. It played perfect ball right off of that resistance, guys. It was like, okay, it could test 27.5, 28. It's exactly where it went. A, B, and C down so far. Now it's looking a little impulsive. So if this significantly breaks degree here, we've got something else going on. But for right now, I've got A, B, and C right to the test we were talking about yesterday. So this has been completely accurate to that degree. Now the question is, does it break degree higher for a higher extension here, or does it really just start breaking down? I'd like to see the bounce to the B. That would make the C and the rest of the progress of this potential wave make a lot more sense. But hey, the threat is front and center. If they can't hold it here, it has a very good chance to break down to something impulsive looking to spurn the chase downside. 1, 2, 1, 2, and thinking this is third of third, they could make that very flashy to attack 1309 very quickly here. So you're going to be cognizant of the bounce and then the potential for follow through as well. So this one's played perfectly within the pattern here, guys. That 1330 here, I've got very little to worry about now, but I will be layering some off from that 1330 short. I mean, I can't say no to a good $12 so far, especially if it's primed to bounce, and the bounce could take back a good amount of it if it came on with some ferocity. Here's the open the other day when we were testing this line. Will it hold here? If it doesn't, and it's A to B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, well, or if it starts to look like a third down, let me just throw that on here. A, B, see, right? We might break the channel a little bit, but it gets right to that price I discussed yesterday at 13.17. It's just been a critical price in previous tests. So we're inches from it. We're right in that rail of support. If we break it, that's where I'd be looking for, anywhere from 17 to 16. Breaks through there very quickly with some ferocity. The next place I'm looking is 1309. So that's what we got. That's the news worth printing coming into this morning. You can see this compressing price pretty well, leading to a singular moment. Let's see if we can get where that kind of runs out of road here. And you've got support, resistance, and basically it says going nowhere, compressing all day. So will we just compress underneath the support sideways all day and then make a quick move? If we did that, I'd probably expect a fast move down to flush out some of that call premium. So support, resistance, pretty well set on this thing so far. We're just going to follow the break and work with the count from that point forward, and we'll see what the rest of the day gives us. I hope you had an excellent evening. I hope you have a very kick-ass day. As we know, we have option expiry, the ring of the bell on SPX for the month of March come tomorrow morning, and everything else at the close of the day tomorrow. So waiting for a little bit of slow movement today and then some fast action late in the day seems to be the most appropriate expectation for shaking some money out of the tree. So let's see how we do, and let's kick some butt. Hope you have a great day. Cheers.
You better watch your step.